In downtown San Francisco, there is a skyscraper where the penthouse cost $13 million and where a marble in the hallway will roll to the northwest corner all on its own. The building is called the Millennium Tower. It is 58 stories of luxury condominiums, and it leans 28 inches off center. Homes that cost millions are being dumped at half price. Engineers have managed exactly one thing. They stopped it from getting worse. Straightening it? That is impossible. This is the story of a tower that can never stand up straight again, and the choice made before anyone moved in that guaranteed it. 2009, the Millennium Tower opens at 301 Mission Street, and it is the most luxurious address on the West Coast. 645 feet of blue-gray glass, 58 stories, over 400 apartments. A wine cellar, a lap pool, a private cinema, a concierge that never sleeps. Football legend Joe Montana buys in. So do tech executives and venture capitalists. Units sell for millions, the grand penthouse for 13. In total, sales bring in over $750 million, and the waiting list keeps growing. The marketing calls it the finest residential building in San Francisco, and for 7 years, everyone believes it. But the most important part of this building is the part nobody ever saw. San Francisco's financial district sits on Old Bay mud and sand. Solid bedrock is down there, about 200 feet below the street. The towers around Millennium reach all the way down to it. Millennium does not. Its foundation rests on friction piles, concrete columns just 60 to 90 feet deep, gripping the sand the way a fist grips loose gravel. That design was legal, it was approved, and it was cheaper. The entire weight of a 645-foot concrete tower resting on packed sand in earthquake country. The engineers expected the building to settle 4 to 6 inches over its whole lifetime. That is normal. Every heavy building settles a little. By 2016, 7 years in, the Millennium Tower had sunk 16 inches, nearly 3 times the lifetime budget, with decades still to go. And here is the part that mattered. It was not sinking evenly. The northwest side was dropping faster, tipping the whole tower over by 6 inches at the crown. Residents noticed the small things first. Doors that swung themselves shut, a gap opening in the sidewalk outside. That marble rolling across the hallway floor on its own. Then the measurements went public, and the finest address on the West Coast became the punchline of every joke in San Francisco. Then came the blame. The developer pointed next door, where a government authority was digging a massive new train terminal, pumping groundwater out of the soil right beside the tower. The authority pointed straight back. The building was already sinking before we ever broke ground, because you never reached bedrock. Lawsuits piled up from every direction. Homeowners sued the developer sued the authority sued back. In 2018, a window on the 36th floor cracked for no visible reason. Owners started selling at brutal losses, millions below what they paid, just to get out. And while the lawyers argued, the tower kept leaning about 3/4 of an inch more every single year. And underneath every lawsuit, every headline, every hallway joke, there was one question nobody in San Francisco wanted to say too loudly. What happens when the ground starts shaking? Because this is not just any city. This is the city of 1906, the city that burned to the ground after the fault beneath it slipped. Every big building here is designed around one promise. When the earthquake comes, we stay standing. And now the most luxurious tower in town was leaning further every year, on a foundation everyone finally understood had never touched bedrock. Then one night over Labor Day weekend in 2018, residents woke to a creaking sound, and then a pop. On the 36th floor, a window had cracked. Glass rated to survive hurricane winds, split open on a calm night. The city ordered a protective shed built over the sidewalk below, and an inspector was lowered down the outside of the building on ropes to find out why its skin was breaking. The engineers ran the numbers over and over and kept arriving at the same answer, even leaning. The tower should ride out a major quake. The official word was safe. But ask yourself how much comfort that word carries when your home tilts a little more every year and the sidewalk below it needs a roof of its own. Some residents installed marble-proof shelves and some simply left. The tower had become a very expensive experiment, and everyone inside was part of it. The fix fell to one man, engineer Ron Hamburger. The plan: drill new piles along two sides of the tower, all the way down to bedrock this time, and gently shift part of the building's weight onto them. Price tag $100 million. Then, in 2021, something remarkable happened. As the crews drilled, the tower started tilting faster. The rescue operation was making the patient worse. An inch of new lean during construction. Work stopped. The plan was cut from 52 piles down to just 18. Drilled with a gentler method, 275 feet down into solid rock. In late 2023, the last of the 18 piles was locked into bedrock, and the tower finally stopped sinking. The fix worked. Since then, the building has slowly clawed back about 2 inches of its lean. In 2025, the engineering world even gave the operation a Structure of the Year award. But read the numbers again. 2 inches recovered. Around 28 still standing. The recovery is running far slower than the engineers predicted, and nobody is proposing to drill again. The tower is stable now, they say. Safe, even in an earthquake. But the market has its own opinion. Units are still selling far below what their owners paid, because the lien is no longer an event. It is a permanent resident. So the engineering story has an ending, the market story does not, because concrete can be stabilized, but a reputation cannot be drilled back into bedrock. The tower is fixed, the officials say. The settlement has stopped, the award is on the shelf, and still, when an apartment in the Millennium Tower goes up for sale, it sells far below what its owner once paid, year after year. Some owners have simply accepted it. They bought at the top of the market, in the finest building on the West Coast, and they will sell at the bottom of its story, in the building everyone knows as the leaning one. The lean is only 28 inches. You cannot see it from the street, but everyone can see it anyway, because it lives in the name now. That is the quiet lesson under all the engineering. A building is a structure, but an address is a story, and stories do not straighten. And that is the ending nobody wanted to say out loud. The Millennium Tower will lean for the rest of its life. Not because nobody tried, because physics only sells one-way tickets. You can stop a building from sinking. You cannot ask it to stand back up. It cannot be corrected, only stopped.